Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at panel carriers, especially those of you painters that like to go outdoors and paint in what we call plein air. Will want a carrier so that way you can take as many panels as you need to the actual site where you're going to be painting. And so we're going to get into a little bit of the choices that you have. We're going to talk a little bit about how many panels you can fit into some of these carriers and my recommendations for you to purchase. There are actually not many options on the market for panel carriers. Julian, I believe, and some other companies make some wooden boxes that you could use, but I think the weight prohibits that because the whole purpose is that you're going outside to paint, and we don't want to bog you down with the weight of your equipment, right? So my recommendation, there's two options out there. For those of you that are really budget conscious, there's a company, I'll put it in the link below. I can't remember their name right off the top of my head for whatever reason right now, but they make a corrugated cardboard box, basically, that you can put different sizes in. I would stay away from that one too, though. It's a little cheaper than the one I'm going to recommend to you, but it doesn't hold up very well. It's not very durable, and most painters that I know are not all that careful about their equipment. We throw them into our cars. They take a beating when they're outdoors, when we're trying to paint and manage other equipment. So I just don't believe that those are very efficient, and I believe that they just don't last very long. And of course, being made of cardboard, if you're out caught in the rain, it's going to disintegrate pretty quickly on you, I think. So I would recommend then a company called Raymar. They also make artist panels. These are very well made, and most professional artists will purchase a number of these. So this is by Raymar, and they come in various sizes. They now have an option, which I would recommend getting. I didn't do that, but they have one of these. This is made out of gator board, basically, a type of gator board, very durable and very lightweight. It does have a strap so that you can carry it, and then basically it's a Velcro cover that pops open like this, and then inside, if you can see from that view, let me get this up to the light a little bit better. There's a little plastic insert on either side, which allows you to slide the panels in. You can fit 3 to 6 panels in one of these Raymar panel carriers if you do it back to back, right? I wouldn't go over 3. I would only put 3 in there, unless you're really not going to be painting. Most of the time, you're not going to be painting more than 3 paintings in a day anyway, right? You may want to, on occasion, if you're going to take a vacation somewhere and you're going to be painting a lot, and after the paintings are dried in your hotel room or something, then I would trust being able to put 2 into one slot. But I would never put more than 1 painting that's finished and that you like in one of the slots, all right? Otherwise, you're going to have some complications due to wet paint getting intermixed perhaps on the back of the board and everything else. I can just see a lot of disasters happening, at least for me. They have various sizes, so this will only accommodate 11 by 14. They have other boxes like this that will only handle one particular size, like a 9 by 12. I think the largest size they make is a 16 by 20. Raymar now produces one of these that has triple sizes. So in other words, it is one box, but it'll handle 3 different sizes, multiple sizes. And so that would be the one that I would purchase today if it was me. That way you'll get the biggest bang for your buck, especially if you are a beginner and you're not quite sure yet which size you would like to paint in most of the time when you go outdoors. Another way to do this to save money if you're budget conscious is to just pick out a size and stick with it and say, whenever I'm going out, if I'm just doing studies anyway, if I'm not really attempting to produce artwork that I'm going to sell for galleries or in competitions and plein air events, then maybe all you need is one size, and maybe that is the smallest size you want. So that way, if you really want to go to out of the way places, once again, weight is something you have to be very conscious of. So you may want to go with a 9 by 12 and only paint 9 by 12. So all you need is one of these in the 9 by 12 size. Maybe you want to do it in 8 by 10, so all you need is an 8 by 10. Maybe you want to go really small and go 6 by 8 for your plein air studies. And so all you have to do is a smaller box, 6 by 8, and you're set. Or the size I really like is a little bit larger. The 11 by 14 seems to suit me very well. At least I prefer that size, and sometimes even larger. But and I think for beginners, sometimes you are told to start with very small panels. I think that the artists that you're hearing, and there are a number of them out there, that are recommending that beginners start with larger sizes instead, that's the advice that I would listen to. Why? Because it takes just as much work in my experimenting with painting these years to paint a small panel as it is a large panel. The advantage of a large panel is that you really can get into more bold brush strokes and motions, painting with your shoulder, and really making sure that the paintbrush is out in front of you and painting from a distance, especially if you like to paint impressionistically. That's going to help you in seeing the scene and squinting and getting your tones and your values correct and the colors. So I would recommend not painting any smaller than 11 by 14. In fact, you might want to begin with a size like 12 by 16 when you're painting outdoors. And then as you get better, then perhaps go smaller, because then you will have already forced yourself into looking at the big shapes and using more gestural approaches and applying your paint layers and doing some of these very basic but very essential skills that you would learn from the larger canvases. You don't have to be as exact, and it forces you in the amount of time that you have to paint to not worry so much about your details. 3 choices. The wood ones that are made either by specialty companies or by Julian makes one. They're heavy. I wouldn't recommend those because of the weight. They're good boxes. All of them out there are pretty good boxes. Oftentimes they're rather limited in the sizes that they can take, and they're very heavy to actually use in the way that you're buying the product to use, right? Which is to take outdoors. You want it to be light. You want it to be easy to set up. I can't say that about any of those boxes. The second kind, the real budget type, are made of corrugated cardboard, basically, and they're not going to hold up very well. So you might as well spend a little bit more and get the Raymar Panel Carriers, or something sort of like this, made out of some gator board, which is very light and holds up well to paint. You can see I've had this for a couple of years. It's been bent and everything else. You could even, if someday, I suspect that the Velcro is going to wear out, but all it is some Velcro. So you can buy some new Velcro, apply that to the case, and you're set still. So, and of course it has a handy carrier. So this is the lightest and I think best value of the options that are available to you. Thanks so much for watching this video today. And if you like this channel, if you like the content that I've been providing, please feel free to give me a thumbs up and then subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next video.